your girl Abby, aka New Age Coach here, and I am just lighting the way for those on their way to the light. And in today's video, I just want to talk about my overwhelming sense of gratitude and feeling of luck and prosperity and abundance over this last week and a half. And it's not just, from a money perspective when I'm talking about abundance, but it's about the abundance of love and of sharing and receiving and just having the most beautiful opportunities fall into my lap at the perfect time for me over this last week and change. And I just feel that there's this kind of constant flow right now that I'm just tapped into, and it is palpable, in the famous words of Abraham and Esther Hicks, I am tapped in, tuned in, turned on right now. And every day I'm just waking up feeling so full of excitement and like there's adventure around every corner just waiting for me, and just this sense of sheer awe right now. And that's why this video is called Feeling Lucky and Blessed to be Blessed. I do not take 1 second of my newfound life since my spiritual awakening for granted anymore, Gone are the days that I just spend worrying and being stressed and trying to figure out how I'm gonna make everything work and exactly how I'm gonna do that. I care about now. I care about the present and being present in the present and being grateful for this moment that I have here now. And I understand and know now that I am absolutely taken care of. And over this last week, as I'm feeling this way, it's really got me thinking, because while everyone has the same potential to tap into their own power, into their own greatness, into their own spiritual nature, everyone has access to this flow I'm talking about, to the vortex, to abundance, to prosperity, to love and happiness. And not everyone actually does tap into it, and not everyone actually wants to. And I bring that up because I've just been so humbled over this last week, and, just so grateful for my spiritual awakening, because that woke something up in me, and it was the biggest blessing of my life. And that one blessing of being spiritually awakened has led me to receiving blessing after blessing after blessing, more so than ever over this last week. But with that, the promise of receiving blessings forever, as long as I remain true to who I am. So while this video will include just my typical Abby stories, to kind of tie all of these themes and lessons together and my own personal experiences, I'm really hoping that you take the overall themes that resonate with you and understand the main lessons that I'm trying to convey in my actual personal story. So some of the lessons that I really hope that you get to walk away with from this video include, number one, just believing that the universe will provide you with exactly what you need and who you need when you need and are ready to receive it. Fact. Number two, understanding that nothing is a coincidence. Everything is interconnected. And you may not understand the meaning of something as it happens, and that's absolutely okay. But trust that your intuition, I always can never say that. Your intuition is working, it's there, it's with you, and in time, it will all make sense. Fact again. Number three, realizing the power that lives within you, that you can actually create and manifest your life. You can actually create your circumstances, your future. You can actually create your reality and so much more. You can. Yes, you can. Fact again. All of these are facts if you haven't noticed. Number four, trusting that there are divine energies and powers at play that are always with you. Even though you have this within you, you have a whole team, a whole support system with you at any given time. You are never alone, ever. And they are always there just encouraging you, and they're guiding you, and they're giving you kind of breadcrumb after breadcrumb so that you can kind of piece together this puzzle. So on that same token, you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to kind of these clues and the synchronicities, like repeating numbers or repeating conversations or themes, and really try to seek out the meanings in those messages. So with all of that, I want to talk about some of the synchronicities actually that I've been experiencing over this last week, which has led me to feel so lucky and blessed. So let's get into that now. So there have been two synchronicities that have been surfacing for me lately. Again, over this kind of last week and a half that I keep referencing. And one is this repeating number of 77777, 7777. It goes on. Sevens are everywhere. And, since my quantum healing hypnosis session, which I'll link the videos to my session below if you haven't had a chance to check those out. I feel since that session that I have kind of been elevated into this new layer of my spiritual path. It almost feels to me like a sort of sense of completion for what I needed to know, what I got from it, and kind of now it's behind me, pushing me on a little bit, like, okay, you're on the next step here. And secondly, the second synchronicity I've been noticing lately is I've been hearing or seeing this quote in videos I've been watching and conversations I've been having. I've actually said it to a few people myself lately when I'm giving them advice or we're talking, and it just pops into my mind at random times. And the quote is, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." And the same thing happened to me with this exact quote when I went through my initial spiritual awakening. And I had no idea what I was going through. And as I was searching for answers and learning more and more, it was the first time that I actually stumbled upon that quote. And it was what made everything make sense to me. Like, sure, I could have participated in a quantum healing hypnosis session maybe 5 years ago, but would I have understood that? Would I have gotten what I needed from that in terms of healing and everything that it did for me? Or, Arianna, my practitioner, who I'll talk about a little bit later in this video, was it more that she came into my life as a teacher and provided me this quantum healing hypnosis just at the exact right time, exact right circumstances, exact time where I understood what was happening, that I was going through a spiritual awakening and I was ready to receive that healing and information and even go down that path. You see what I mean? So when the student is ready, the teachers are going to appear. And the teacher means anything from a book that you just stumble upon, a resource, a conversation you're having with someone that walks into your life that's a new introduction to your life that now is going to lead your life through a different course. You never quite know what your teacher is going to look like, but the point is, when you're ready in your path here, you will again, like I said in that lesson above, you will get what you need and who you need when you need it. Also, another lesson that we talked about, I said, nothing's a coincidence. So obviously, I don't believe it's coincidence that now that I'm feeling I've moved on to kind of this new layer, this new step on my spiritual journey, that same quote is, continuously resurfing in my mind, in my reality. And, it's time for me to take on and meet some new teachers. And this video is going to talk about who those teachers are and how they've showed up in my life right now, contributing to why I'm feeling so lucky and blessed for this video. So let's get on to my interpretation for the meanings that resonate with me right now for how I'm feeling when it comes to angel number 777. So of course I will link any resources that I'm talking about or pulled some of these from. But the first interpretation around 777 that I'm going to point to is one that said, it is a very spiritual number and is a clear indication that you are now ready to move on to the next step in terms of spirituality. This angel number is divine magic. You keep seeing 777 because you are very close to making your dreams come true. Whatever you're doing with your life right now is working. Another interpretation that resonated with me, which also inspired this video, is there is a force in the universe that is giving your life its particular shape and the ability to attract to yourself the material circumstances that you want by focusing your attention in the right way. So basically manifestation. Another one is our mission on planet Earth is a journey of self-discovery and self-discovery to our purest and highest self. So every time you see 777, it's a message that you are on a transformational path. Surrender to the beauty of life, reveal your highest self, be the best version of you. 777 is about embracing your gifts, your unique abilities, and using them to service others. So now that you have a brief understanding of some of these variations of what it means, or the ones that I handpicked for what it means to me right now, I just wanted to give a couple of examples, the Abby stories that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, of items that again have just reaffirmed for me that, Abby, you are powerful, You are lucky, you are blessed, you are focusing on all of the right things, you're attracting what you desire right now, and you are ready to learn more. So here are your teachers. The first teacher I'm going to talk about centers around entrepreneurs and empowerment. So my story starts with, I was surfing YouTube before bed on Friday of last week, so March 29th, and I stumbled on a video and it captured my attention because the title was Ready to Take a Leap of Faith, Giving 27 of you a 2K sponsorship to come see me live. And upon seeing the number 27 in the title, and then seeing it had 333,000 views, or 333 views after I clicked into it, both of those numbers having very significant meanings to me on my spiritual journey. If you watch some of my previous videos, you'll know why that is, so I'll link those below too. But both of those numbers, they meant a lot to me, so something inside me felt like I just needed this video in my life and it was meant for me. And before I even watched what the video was, I had literally clicked off into the link where you can register to apply for whatever program it was, and I signed up. And long story short, even though this video had at that time over 333,000 views, and this person has over, almost 500,000 subscribers. They're at about 400, a little less than that right now. And who knows how many people will sign up from this based on just those sheer numbers. I knew my chances were slim, but regardless, I sit here today and excited to share that I was actually called, I was interviewed by the team, and I was accepted into the 3-day Superpower Live program for July of this year for free. So that is just kind of one of the examples of, apparently I am ready to learn about this aspect of myself in terms of how I can now harness the power I know I'm feeling and maybe turn that into a business opportunity or a future opportunity, or how I apply that just to my everyday life to keep this spiritual process momentum going. One other interesting thing, though, about this story that I mentioned, I said this video when I saw that, which is kind of what triggered me, had 333,000 views, and how that was part of what intuitively drew me to that. In hindsight, and in relation to this whole video being about when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, one of the actual meanings of the angel number 333 is that it's this connection between the master teachers in spirit, our actual ascended masters, and you, the mind, the body, the spirit. 333. So I don't think it's coincidence that it had 333 or 333 views, and what that number means in terms of relating to this overall theme of student and teacher. I know intuitively, again, in my heart, that there is something in this session that I am going to learn, that my soul needs to hear to help me learn more and move through this new stage that I'm in. So of course I feel so lucky and so blessed for this amazing opportunity. My next story here is gonna be what I call my manifestation teacher. So I've alluded to this at the beginning of my video, and I told you how I have participated in a quantum healing hypnosis session. Again, I've linked to those videos below, and I just wanted to kind of give a shout out here to Arianna. She is a fellow YouTuber. She has a channel called The Realm of Prosperity. So please, please, please check that out and support her because she is amazing. But I bring her up here because if you've watched those videos, you'll know that we serendipitously met and how she has been a major teacher in my life, mostly just around this quantum healing hypnosis. But as these days go by, she still is tying into my videos and my overall journey because I am unofficially dubbing her as my spiritual mentor and teacher, especially over this last week and a half. Every day I'm hitting up Arianna with just a story, a question, looking for advice, and she is just literally on demand, and she's there, and she's so happy to help, and she's so authentic, and she's just there with answer after answer. And she's been on this spiritual path for about 10 plus years now. She knows her stuff. In my quantum healing video, you'll see that my higher self told me that we were meant to be and she is here to help me. This story in this video is really talking about the other day. Arianna basically turned to me and said, you know what, Abby? Something told me to extend an offer to coach you personally, just to actually work you through manifestation techniques so that you can kind of free up your brain space, but also get exactly what you want in life. So something just told me to offer this for you. So I want to be your personal coach in that regard. So what? This teacher who has been part of my journey already, which I thought that was it, that's what she's here for, which is amazing. I gained that already, took it to a whole new level to coach me personally on manifestation. And it's just another example of why I feel so lucky and so blessed. So thank you, Arianna. Thank you so much. And I am looking forward to our one-to-one time. Everyone watching this video, of course, you know, I'm gonna keep you in the loop of what comes out of that and what I've actually learned to manifest. Hopefully I'll be like on a yacht making that video, you know, by that time. This next teacher I am calling my spiritual practice teacher. This past week, I randomly found a little gem of a place. Oh, it just warms my heart. This place gives me all the feels, just all of them. And it's a small local shop and it's for all things related to spirituality. And I found them just doing a completely unrelated search on the internet for something else that I was looking for online. And this came into my reality. I clicked into it. I read their site. I saw what they offered. And it was like that's what it felt like inside of my body. Like, yep, I know this is meant for me. So they describe themselves as, again, a small local shop that welcomes all people, whether you're just beginning to explore new ideas and are looking for some sage, tumbled stones, or your first reading or workshop, or if you're an experienced practitioner looking for supplies and deeper learning opportunities. You'll find a sense of community here through our ongoing groups and many different topics and the friendly atmosphere. Many friendships are formed here as you realize that there are like-minded others in the area also seeking to change themselves and the world for a brighter future. So can you understand with that explanation why it just did this for me? I mean, come on, how perfect is that? And again, just fell right into my lap this past week where what day is today? Wednesday, and I've pretty much already taken 3 classes there. I found them on Sunday, so it just clicked. Ironically, which maybe it's not ironic because again, nothing's coincidence or, you know, random or ironic, but this store has existed for 18 years in the town next door to where I grew up, where I was born and raised, where I worked in, where I lived 5 minutes from, and I never knew about it. It never had crossed my path. I have a spiritual awakening and find it randomly online to find out that they actually recently moved, when I say recently, like a few months ago, to my actual hometown where I currently live. So I think that that is so synchronistic, number one, and it's also symbolic in itself, you know? A spiritual awakening is about finding your way home. And now that I'm ready to learn and grow into this next phase to make it closer to finding my way home and needing the appropriate resources to do this, I can literally have real spiritual teachers walking me through this process face to face in classes that I'm attending in my actual hometown. Like, how beautiful is that? So I'll definitely make separate videos kind of as I go through these classes and learn more and more. I want to give them the appropriate attention that they deserve, but some of the themes that we've been learning or I've been learning over the last couple days has been around you know, tarot cards. I actually held my first deck for the first time, learned how to kind of try to channel my spirit guides or that energy to really intuitively read cards and not just by the sheer definitions that come with them. You know, I've learned how to channel energy in a group setting or group meditation. Some of this is centered around kind of Reiki and energy healing and me actually starting to practice what that feels like and the power in my hands and how that actually all works. And it's just been really cool. And the first session that I went to ever, we sat in this group and we all created kind of this energy chain with the shared energy in a loop. And it was really to practice channeling and to see what kind of popped into people's minds and what messages they were getting. And this was led by a shaman. And one of the girls in the class, she said, you know, I'm getting a poodle named Daisy. Does that resonate for anyone? And after a couple minutes, a different lady said, are those the same? Like, is the dog's name Daisy and it's a poodle, or are they separate? And she's like, you know what? It could be separate. I'm just seeing Daisy and a poodle. And it turns out that this other lady's grandmother was named Daisy, and she had grown up with a whole bunch of poodles around at all given times. Her grandma Daisy took in these poodles, and it was just a fond memory that they had shared together. So we found that out. And the shaman then was kind of getting that same message as well, that basically she was hearing a song like Daisy, Daisy, bicycle built for two. And basically the message was, you know, you're never alone in life. You might think you're riding through this life on your bicycle with its one seater, but you are always on a bicycle built for two. There's always someone on that back seat with you, whether it's your grandmother, whether it's your spirit guide, whether it's your angels. You have a crew supporting you. You're never alone at any given time. And I just thought that message was beautiful. And it was my first time being kind of a group setting. It's my first time going to a class like this. It's my first time understanding all this from my awakening and like grasping it and being able to understand what was going on in this session. So it felt so beautiful to me to be part of that energy that was fostered, to have that channeling be able to feel safe and come through. And I just thought it was so cool. And the next day I was driving home from work and I was thinking about how cool that was. And then I was seeing 111, 111, 111, 4 license plates after each other, 666, 666, synchronicities like wildfire. And then I look and there's a license plate that caught my attention right after that. And the license plate said Miss Daisy, and it had a paw print on the actual license plate. So again, just this stuff is powerful. The messages are true. That was my reminder from that session. Miss Daisy, this lady's grandmother, the message from spirit guides, from spirit, just, you're not alone. Keep thinking these thoughts. Keep staying on this path. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This next teacher, I am just dubbing her as amazing, beautiful, excited, energetic, happy. This next teacher is me. So I've come to realize through these stories that I've been sharing with you, with these teachers miraculously appearing in my life at exactly this right time and for the different themes that they're really serving for me right now, I realized that it goes both ways, you know, and part of my purpose is to also be a teacher. So over the last week or so, I have received overwhelming confirmation from various friends, family, like, you're inspiring me, Abby, or keep talking, Abby. You know, I might not understand it all, but it's doing something for me. It's clearly doing something for you to talk about it, and it's noticeable for all of us watching. So just keep doing you, because it's working and we hear you and we're watching you. And one friend actually said that I've inspired her, and you know, that touched my heart. She said after watching one of my videos, she picked up her pen and paper to get back onto her blog that she started years ago, that she has never told anyone about or did anything about, and it lights her soul on fire. Those were her exact words, and that she hadn't touched it in so long, but after watching my videos, that she felt that spark of passion back and creativity and that energy again. And you know, I feel that I have activated families' minds to be open to new concepts as well, just new ways of thinking and new experiences. So for example, you know, after learning about my first float tank session, my sister was interested in it, and I was able to book her very own float tank as a birthday gift. After watching my quantum healing hypnosis session with Arianna, you know, a few friends and family alike were interested in doing a session of their own. So I was able to refer them to Arianna. So again, that's, you know, it's hooking up Arianna, it's hooking up family and friends, it's activating everybody, helping each other, making sure that we're all healing, we're all spreading the love and light, we're all sharing our resources. You know, additionally, over the last week or so, friends, some coworkers, people that I've just been talking to who have been following my channel, they've reached out to me and they're interested in starting their own path to self-discovery and self-development now too. You know, not necessarily spirituality if they're not there yet, but they recognize that there are paths that get there, and really it's all about improving you and being the best you that you can be. So I've had the luxury and opportunity, which is why I'm feeling lucky and blessed to be a teacher, to really share my resources with my friends and family in these circumstances too. So sharing some YouTube people that I follow, some books that I've read that will help them, pointing them to a certain website, or introducing them to a certain kind of healing modality or different modality, exercising like yoga and the different versions, whatever that conversation is. You know, it's the sharing that I'm talking about. It's not worth going on this journey at all, whether that's just sheer self-discovery, which is part of everything, or the spiritual angle to it. It's not worth it if you are gonna be protective of it and kind of like harbor it and keep it to yourself this way, it's really about this abundance mentality. There's infinite information, and there's infinite wealth and money out there. You're never gonna run out. There's infinite love, there's infinite happiness, there's just so much of everything that you could not even imagine it. So it's not about just kind of that solo mentality that you have here. This is about activating people, lighting people's souls on fire, like my friend said, making sure that we're enriching each other's lives and that we are of service to each other. And it all comes again just down to sharing your love and light as you go on your path, and us all being respectful to the different paths we're all traveling. And that's just yet another reason why I feel so lucky and blessed to be blessed for this video, to be able to share these kinds of messages and these stories via this YouTube channel. I really am just so passionate about this channel, and I'm so excited for what the future brings for it.